Okay, guys, let's go over a little bit of training. I'm still getting a lot of questions on this. I think I've already made 2 videos, so I'll make one more. Definitely watch my recent videos. It's really critical in the automated systems where you place your stops. I can tell many of you are not understanding how to place your stops, and you're putting them way too close. And you're getting into moves that have very significant runs of price, but on little kickbacks of price, you're getting blipped out because you haven't done the math per my recent videos on where your stop placement should be. So any little back ticks or kickbacks in a downtrend is hitting a stop that's too close. Now the cluster trill stop will help some of this, but to tell you the truth, guys, I just put my stops like really far away. You know, if I'm in a NASDAQ trade, let's say my system got me long down here on an automated trade, my stops are like way the heck down there. Because I know I'm going to get taken out on a flip. And if the flip is ugly and the market has a big move, oh well. That's not going to happen every time, so I'm not worried about it. I'd rather hang right now with looser stops, play with smaller size, make sure all the automation is running for just the entries, the adds, and getting out at a flip over trying to micromanage how tight of a stop I should have. So that's a unproductive way of trading right now, unless you've done the work, you've done the optimization, you really know what you're doing, you really dialed things in, and you have stops set perfectly in alignment with some very diligent, specific plan for your automated setup. In the meantime, move those stops, get those stops away from your trade entry, let that trade breathe. The counter flips will get you out of the trade. I have very few having technical issues with the NT8. There's maybe one person that has a real technical issue. Well, if it works for everybody else, that issue is with your platform. So we might have to have you do a full a Ninja Trader 8 update download. Make sure you have the latest and greatest update, and just to make sure you refresh that there isn't some corruption there. Then the next thing to do is we completely remove the Ninja Trader iGrid Evo Auto. Completely remove it from your platform. Completely do a restart on your platform. Completely import a brand new file that you download fresh without any firewalls turned on. Install that to the platform. Restart the platform, then turn it on and run back tests. And make sure that it's taking the flip entries properly, the adds, and that you can see where the stops are and that they're, where you have them set. So if you have a stop set at 90 ticks on an NQ long, the stop isn't 23 ticks away. You can see it's actually 9 points for 90 ticks. And so on. This is a big deal. You have to realize different instruments have different amount of ticks per point. So remember, the stop is not in points. That would be bad. It's in ticks. So let's say you're trading an instrument that has 10 ticks per point, and you want a 10-point stop. That's a 100 tick. That's a 100 tick stop you got to have. So does that make sense? You have to account for that. If you're trading FX stuff, it would be, in pips. So same thing. So this is really critical that you get that figured out. So right now, just get those stops the heck away from your trade. Make sure everything's working good. If you're in trades where your stop is like 200 ticks away and you get into a short trade and it runs a little bit and then it blips you out because it seems like it hit a stop, then we got something going on specific in your NT8 platform with the automated strategy. So either have the NT8 platform could possibly need a refresh, or we have to replace the imported zip file to your platform that may be corrupted. And I see this happen all the time. One time in the early years of NT8, I did a launch. 140 people came on board with an automated program, and these 3 people, I had to work with them literally for weeks to finally get their excuse my language, shit to work. What it was is that they were all downloading the file with firewalls on. I would have never learned that. I learned that through the programmer. I just gave up. I said, hey, programmer, go on TeamViewer one by one, figure it out right away. Oh, yep, they're downloading the file with the firewall. I don't know why that makes a difference. Sometimes it does. So don't download files at work. Download files like on some laptop or somewhere on your own Wi-Fi where you got no firewall. Then put that download on a stick. And then you can go put that stick and load that file to other computers. Does that make sense? You want to make sure when you take downloads from our box.com links that they're not getting corrupted. This happens a lot with MT4, MT5. So that's kind of important. So anyhow, let's get the very I think we got 2 or 3 with a little bit of technical glitches. Let's make sure it's not just your stop placement. And then another big issue I'm noticing, many of you have settings of indicators running on your charts where the indicator settings are different from what is running in the automated strategy. So you're having the automated strategy run on one set of settings that aren't in alignment with the ones that you have in your chart. Does that make sense? And it's throwing you off. Always, 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 when you run an automated strategy on CTrader, MT4, MT5, NinjaTrader 8, you got to make sure that exactly what you have set in your settings on the auto, in the strategies, the strategy settings for the indicators need to be absolutely perfectly aligned with the indicator setting that you're watching on your chart, if that makes sense. Had a few instances where, the person's got strategy settings, like it's getting short, like down here, and they're like, well, wait, I should have got short up here. Yeah, your indicator on your charts is set different. That is a universal law of automated trading. What's on your chart for indicators better be in alignment with what's running on an EAR strategy so you don't get confused. So what's happening with the EA, the CBOT, or the strategy is in alignment with what you're viewing on your chart, so it doesn't cause you any confusion. Okay, another thing, I keep getting asked for settings, so let's go through this one last time on this one. I'm on a 33.11.7 TZ Renko chart. Don't worry what the name is. On some of the charts, it's a different name. It's the exact same indicator. 33.11.7. This works for me, and I like it. I have some other settings I'll put out, a little bit lower time frame, but I don't want to get everybody too confused because I keep getting questions. Hey, in this video, what was the settings? And this is the 3rd video. I'll cover them again. So that's it. Both these charts have these exact same settings. And I always put default 24/7. You want every single tick of price data that went into that could potentially go into your chart in a 24-hour period, go into your chart. And especially when you're trading automated, do not use any other settings but default 24/7. You want all the ticks all the time, even if it's the middle of the night. Okay, so both these charts, one's very responsive, one's more bigger picture structural moves. And don't ask me why I'm buying here. It has to do with a little pattern I see. I'm not working the iGrid long setup here. I'm working a pattern setup. I'm seeing institutions doing some accumulation down here, and it makes sense due to the CPI numbers that, as I expected, we're going to finally show some reality that inflation is heading back up on a very scary pace. So they can't keep hiding that. They have to finally let out a little reality. And we got Fed meeting minutes later. So institutionals might use this pullback, accumulate, and then run and gun, playing with Fed discount window money to do a rip your face off short covering rally end of day. I mean, that potential is there. You know the game. So for 5.5 months now, they put in 3.6 to 3.7 trillion of Fed discount window money into the market in the most dysfunctional behavior imaginable to mankind. So they're using that leftover provision from Obama, too big to fail, to stabilize a market going through a financial crisis, to now let all the investment banks only play with free monopoly money. And the thought is, as I've said before, this is a pre-bail-in to them ahead of a major commercial real estate unwinding into the third and fourth quarter. The beginning, it'll start in third, fourth quarter. So that's what it seems like is going on. Plenty of profit on these accounts for the day. Let these out real quick. Bounce out of there and way over profit. I'm done. You don't need money on these. Adding to the minute. So anyhow, so now for the bigger picture structural settings, and I'm just running the regular iGrid, but you can set up the iGrid Evo the same way. This would be your Heikinashi number 1. Aaron 7. My shift portion is 33.3. Don't you dare touch OMA speed or step size, period, unless you absolutely know what you're doing. Leave those alone. They're like micro fine tuning. Just leave them where they are. But I'm on 33.3. If you touch these, I will reach through your computer and backhanded slap you right across the face. No, I'm just kidding. I'm a little fired up today. I'm having a good day. And I'll tell you why I had a good day. I had the luck of the Irish this morning. I knew the CPI number was going to be horseshit. I mean, I knew it was going to be ugly. So I set some MNQs on sell orders. I wish I could have done it on my TPT accounts, but you can't trade through news there. But on all of my main Apex accounts and this one, some new ones I'm adding to the mix, I set sell limit orders, and I think the 833 evens. It was just, I kind of looked at the price. Where did I think they'd pop it to before they drop it? I got snagged on the fills, and then she ripped down, and that was some like free money today. I went way over goal because I had, what I have, three MNQs on my newer evaluation accounts. I had 7s on my paid accounts, my big boys. So that was a one and done type of a day, and once that trade I hit blip, I blipped out, was 30 some $100 in the money on my 300Ks. I was like, okay, I'm done, and then I just hung around with here to get over 1250 on the day on these additional ones I'm adding. So anyhow, but the settings on this side are, this is the more responsive side. Heikinashi 1, if you're using the Evo, would be a 5, Aaron's 5, and then a step MA, or the shift portion of the indicator, a 5 by 1.3. And voila, there you go. So anyhow, just the method to my madness on this. Let's blow this up real quick. Okay, so let's take a look at this bad boy here. So, here was this is a kind of a key pivot on the morning. We had the lift off the lows. That was a nice rally. I really like that one. Because what do we have on here? If you go look at a bigger picture, we had a nice, sweet W pattern and lift. You betcha I was in there long. That's right. I think I made 800 on the slap down, 800 and change on the CPI news, 3 MNQs. I know it had like one, it was like the news, it went like this, and then I had one big down bar, and I blipped out on all the accounts. I was up 800, and then I worked to 1300 on all the accounts. I caught that move, and I decided to nibble back in right here on the pullback. I've been watching some accumulation right in here. See how they go a little bit lower, and then I know there's support right here. So anyhow, I was nibbling down in this area and looking for a little pop steal. I just got it. I'm doing evaluation accounts. I like to get at least $12.50 a day just to kind of hurry up and get it over with. So anyhow, guys, that should get you all set up. If you have any questions on anything, look for an update, more training later today.